Yeah.
I feel not with it. I feel like I look. It's like gray. It just feels the way I am. Okay, so this is our video.
Oh.
We are in the hospital. We have 15 platelets, 15,000 platelets. Platelets finally got up.
Woo! This number in a month, 3 weeks.
Well, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for the whole time. Like last week, it was it had started to. No, it's Thursday. The last couple of days, it had started to go up to 6, 7,
Every
8,
day,
9,
yeah.
10. Well, it went to 9, and now it jumped to 15.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. That's what we've been looking for. We wanted to go up past 10, but we wanted it to see it go up, and every morning without anything helping. So now we know my body is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So whether or not, that's what the Lord's doing, or it's the rituximab, or it's the
other things, the other
holistic pharmaceuticals.
Hey, he's still on holistic protocols through this. We're sneaking them in. Whether they're working.
Not all of them. We're not doing all
No.
the protocols, but we're just doing like the Juice Plus and some other things.
Other things to help your platelets,
which is good.
And
So it's been good. So I got a staph infection. Did you tell everybody that?
No, this is a video.
Okay, did you put it on Facebook or anything?
Yeah, just keep talking.
All right, anyways. So I got a staph infection, and I it's funny, you hear about people, I got a staph infection, and then they got sepsis, and then they died. Oh my God.
No, well, you didn't die.
No, but that's really that's what a staph infection is. Well, I'm calling it staph. That's what a blood culture, which will give you which will tell you what kind of infection it is, and it could be staph something. It could be MRSA. It could be all these things. So it was really aggressive. It wasn't MRSA, which would have been even more aggressive and more harder to treat. So thankfully, but it was a common staph infection that was super aggressive. And what it did is it put my body in this hypoimmuno response. We're gonna put some pictures on Facebook and show my foot. Can you kind of see that? It's crazy. You see how red that is? And anyways, and so my feet swelled up, and because I had walked for like nothing. I went to Costco with Lizzie, and I got to drive one of those grandpa carts, which was a lot of fun. And but even walking to the bathroom and then driving the cart back and walking from Costco to the car, and then I went into and my body was just like feeling everything. And so what would happen is if you like did this, it would just make a streak across your arm and petechiae, and then it was crazy, and it was swelling up my hand and my feet.
And you had like no grip strength.
I had no grip strength. I'd gone bowling on Sunday, and my hand was like this big by Monday and Tuesday. I was like, this is nuts. And so we know that, and so they so I had spiked the fever Sunday night, and I got a massive headache. I've never had a threat level 10 headache before. It was so bad. And then chills, so I shake it all night long. Well, finally we went to the ER. Actually, I managed to go to my blood work by myself at like 6 o'clock in the morning. On Monday. I get there. I just hobble in. I got my pillow with me. I'm laying on the thing. They took my blood. I'm going back. I'm like, I'm not going to drive home. I'm just going to sit on this bench in front of the help desk and call Lizzie. And she could come get me. And so then I sat there for like a half an hour, sleeping, moaning. And the lady was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, my wife's coming to get me." And so then she came, got me. And then we made it to, did we go to the, anyway, we ended up in the ER. And when we went to the ER, they gave me 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol, which was like wild because it broke my fever within a half hour. It brought it from 104 down to like whatever.
But they did a ton of blood tests just to make sure.
And when you have a fever like that, it's an indicator for infection for a staph infection. And so they took a blood culture, and so then the blood culture came back positive, and then the second blood culture came back positive. So now we knew it was a blood clot. So then I had my rituximab on
Which
Tuesday,
is the immunotherapy.
which is the immunotherapy that I take once a
On
month,
Tuesday.
once a week, every Tuesday. Well, so my body wasn't reacting to like it was. But when I took that rituximab, because of what was going on, because I had the staph infection, almost immediately, we took it like really fast. It took like 3 hours. I felt it. And I was like, man, my joints hurt, my hands hurt, my feet hurt. But I don't, whatever, man, they just hurt. Like, I don't know. That doesn't mean your whole body's going to blow up and your feet are going to turn into tomatoes, but that's exactly what happened. But I had to get to Saco to pick up a track for my skid steer, and we had a schedule to keep.
So we didn't tell the nurses. He was feeling horrible.
Man, I snuck out of there.
Well, actually,
quick.
they did tell us that he tested positive for staph infection before he started this treatment. So we weren't sure even if we would do the treatment, but we decided to do the treatment.
Yeah, so once I test positive for the staph infection, then you almost are guaranteed to be getting...
IV antibiotics.
Yes.
So then they started that too.
Oh, they gave me an IV antibiotics, which was good. So then I left because they wanted me to go to the ER.
And
I
you
was
were
like,
no.
Why am I going to go to the ER, man? I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. Just give me the antibiotics. I'll be
Post a video of
fine.
the way he was walking. It was
Stop it.
It was
You
bad.
can't. Okay, well,
It was so bad.
but it wasn't until I got my rituximab that this all happened. Which is fine. Like it's part of what was going on. So we drive down to Saco, and I'm like, baby, I can't lift my arms, and this is crazy. I don't even know it, because everything kind of sneaks in, and you just don't really know, and so you're just like, it's like 1 minute you're fine, the next minute you get out of the car and you're like a tomato, and and so then my throat was hurting. I did I try and eat something?
A smoothie.
Well, no, I tried to eat like something, and I'm like, I can't even eat this strawberry. And so anyway, so then we went to Costco. I got to drive the grandpa mobile, and then we went to Trader Joe's, and I shuffled, because I'm shuffling real slow, from the entrance to the bathroom. Man, I was like a popsicle, and I was shaking like a leaf. And so then I went to the bathroom. So then I turn around, I come back. And as I'm trying to get out of the place, because I have my armbands on. So everywhere I go, it's like, Chris is contaminated. So stay clear. And, people are watching. And so I'm just like trying to get out of this place as fast as I can, man. And I'm like speeding. Oh, no, I'm like Slowpoke Rodriguez. And so when I get out, I sat down on my van bumper and I let the sun warm me up, and I was fine. But, and then there was a couple of God things that happened, which was really cool. But we went home, and then my fever came back, so I didn't sleep all that night, and I had a massive headache. I had 104 fever. Lizzie's like, God,
He woke up with 105 fever.
100. Well, it's the one that slides.
105. It could have been 106.
Yeah, it's probably 104. Anyways, because 106 is like brain damage,
But those
isn't
things actually measure low.
it? I know, but 106 is like brain damage.
You were almost septic.
I wasn't almost septic.
Oh, we got a phone call.
No,
Hold on.
stop.
I can pause it. I'll
Oh.
pause it. Back.
So then I had 104 fever, and I forgot where I was at.
105. Okay, so we woke up the next morning.
Yeah, and I had a headache, and we ended up in the. So that was today. That was yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
So that was yesterday. Oh, I know. And then so what happened is when I got my rituximab, it started my inflammation chain reaction, which was already ready to just pop, and then by walking, and if you scratch yourself, it would flame up.
Which was due to the staph.
Yeah, which was due to staff. The rituximab was just a kick in the pants. Like, it just was part of the thing.
Right.
So then they had wanted me to go into the ER, and I told them I wasn't going to. But then you're like, this is a real thing. I need to go to the ER. I need to get, I need to be in the hospital because I need to. I don't like, you can't see your face, though. Oh, we're so cute. and I need to be on every 4 hours IV antibiotics, because that's the way to because when you have a staph infection, you have to kill it in like the first 4 days. Like, that's the hope, because any thing after that is septic, is because it's always leading to sepsis, which is leading to being really, really sick and dying. And so I didn't reach that point at all. Like, I was 2 days in this state, and then I came into the ER, and then they were going to admit me, and I was like, yeah, let's do that. And then they started me on this treatment, and then the next day, now the tomato looking stuff, the pitaki, takes a while to go away. That just is good. Petechiae. It takes a while to go away. But my swelling went down, my sensitivity to stuff has gone down. I'm able to walk again because I could hardly walk. And that's all from taking high doses of antibiotics for the last 2 or 3 days.
And actually, he didn't even get platelets today because he's good.
Yeah. I'm not going to get platelets. So now we're looking for a trend for platelets. We want the trend to go up, not go up and go down.
Right. So because it seems like his body is hopefully not attacking itself anymore. So we stopped that. So that's how the.
Well, we think the Lord is consuming my blood because he's swapping it out with his blood, but that's another story.
There's not enough time for that.
No. But you'll hear it eventually, trust me. But whatever is consuming the blood from a medical standpoint is, we've never really truly, we just assume it's a lymphoma related issue. But the cool thing about my issue and what makes it acute and what makes it kind of different maybe from a lot of people is probably my good health. Probably the fact that Lizzie takes, well, not probably, it is. It's my good health. It's the fact that Lizzie takes really good care of the family with her food and with what we eat and with what we think about and what we do. And then it's the Lord because of like, there's no stress. There's no fear. I'm not worried. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm coming back. And what? So I mean, it's like a positive mental attitude. And so, and also I call it my situational awareness. Like, I'm aware of what's going on. So everybody's like, don't fall, don't hit your head, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm like, shut up. Like, you've said it 50,000 times. Like, I know what a 1 to 3 head hit is. And actually I had one. I like reached down for Emerson and I bounced my head off the
bed on Friday.
Yeah. And I've done that like 2 times. And so that's like a 1 to 3 hit. So I go over, I'm like, Lizzie, he's bruised. Can you see anything? It's like, what's going on? Like, but if I had like a 3 to 6 hit, I would be a lot more concerned. If I had a 7 to 10 hit, I'd be rushing to the hospital. It's just use your head. Think about what happens when you do something and apply a little logic. It's not complicated. Ow, that hurts.
Oh, sorry. It's got heavy right there. Yeah. So anyways, he's going to be here for a couple days.
Yeah, I might be here through the weekend.
Which is okay.
Because it's 4th of July weekend, so Friday's like out. Like, they can't really do a whole lot.
You shouldn't be parading anyways.
Yeah, I probably should. I would be, though, if I could get out of here.
But
I'm pretty weak, though.
Thanks to our decal family, I can enjoy the parade with all my kids.
Because they will all be on the parade? All of them?
Well, not Ira. I'll have Ira.
Oh, all 6 girls will be on the parade? Oh, that's cool.
But,
so that's fun.
Yeah, but he'll be here to rest and heal and it's a forced rest. It's an all-inclusive vacation with
It is, and dude, Maine General has like hands
food.
Down the best food.
There's like fresh local strawberries.
Dude, and their eggs, haddock. Like their omelets. I mean, it's stuff you would expect at a fancy restaurant.
It's pretty good.
Right. And then we went to Portland, and that's stuff you'd expect at a hospital cafeteria. So I wasn't disappointed, only when I was comparing it to Maine General, which it's so good.
And we have really high standards for
we have really high standards.
So anyways,
so
we're good. Chris
it's been good.
Well. He's recovering.
Yeah. So it's just like rest and relaxation and IV antibiotics and hydration.
Hey, the hospital's here for a reason. We've always said this. Like,
I've always said that. Always said that.
When we need medical system, it's here. And so we're not anti-medical system.
No. The fun thing about the medical system is that you can, and ChatGPT is that you can use it to understand what's going on and focus in on things and make good medical informed decisions. Because every decision I've made has been super informed, and it's hard to get informed from a person, even if it's a doctor, even if it's a person, because you have to read things. You have to speak back to it. You have to engage with it and then read it and then format it in a way that makes sense. And that's what ChatGPT does. And so once you get all that information and then you get it down to a point that makes sense, now you can categorize it and you start to see rhythms, you start to see patterns, and you start to see things. And now you can be like, well, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? Like, they want me to be on end plate, which is it's going to spike my bone marrow production, but my bone marrow production has always been good. And so it's like, now it's going up. Why not wait a week? Why take an end plate now? Because, everything pharmaceutical has a side effect. Hands down. I don't care if it's ivermectin or whatever, it has a side effect. And so the hope is that you don't have to take those things, and your body will heal itself, but if your body's in a state of complete and utter disrepair just because of an unhealthy lifestyle, well, then you're kind of, it's a weird thing. So that's all. So we're just blessed to be able to do this medical journey with such wisdom and knowledge that doctors have at our fingertips is amazing. And it actually changed the whole trajectory of how we handled this situation, because God is good. Like, he will tell you things and you should do them, but he doesn't always tell you why, because he doesn't speak to me in like volumes. He doesn't say, Chris, this is the medical reason why you need to do this or that or this. He's like, hey man, maybe that's not a good idea. Okay. So anyways, we love you guys.
Bye.